how do we create affordable housing in the city of Richmond, especially in a place like Northside? One of my colleagues told me that Northside Richmond has the highest concentration of housing in any neighborhood in the city, right? That you go anywhere in the city, there's not as many houses as there is in Northside. But at the same time, Northside is also the highest rate of gentrification in the city, right? So more black and brown people are being displaced from out of Northside at a quicker rate than any other place in the city. So what do we do about that? I'm on the board for the Maggie Walker Community Land Trust, which is a nonprofit organization that is dedicated to creating affordable housing for communities that are dealing with this type of gentrification, right? History is a current event. The model that the Maggie Walker Community Land Trust uses, this idea of community owning the land in a neighborhood and then selling the homes to community members so that they can afford the house, have a lower mortgage payment, have a lower down payment. This is a model that was inspired by Black civil rights leaders, right? In the 60s, when the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee went down into places like Georgia, organizing Black people for the right to vote. My question for a lot of folks, the young people that I talk to, is where did those freedom riders stay? Who did they live with while they were down in the South organizing folks for the right to vote? They didn't stay in no hotel, right? They didn't stay at the local resort, right? They didn't stay in their cars. They stayed with Black landowners on Black farms, and they ate with Black church owners and congregations across the South. When the civil rights movement was over, well, not necessarily over, but when that portion of the civil rights movement was over and everybody went home, some folks stayed, right? There was a gentleman from Virginia, actually from Petersburg, Surrey County, his name was Charles Sherrod. He stayed in Georgia. He was the first field secretary for the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. He married his wife, Shirley Sherrod, who was from Georgia, and they created an organization called New Communities Incorporated. New Communities was the country's first community land trust. This community land trust idea, they were inspired by what they saw internationally. And what they did is they started buying land in Georgia to protect those farmers who had held space for those organizers to stay with them. Because why would they need protection? Well, after the civil rights movement, I think everybody was like, oh, we're so happy that you let these organizers stay with you all in your homes. The powers that be were not excited about that at all. And in many cases, they used legal strategies to steal land from Black farmers. And using racial terrorism, they tried to chase Black people out of the South. Well, Charles and Shirley Sherrod came up with this idea that they would purchase land and make that land available for farmers to have housing and have farmland to grow food on and have a place to stay post the civil rights movement. In 2000 and now, Maggie Walker's model of buying land or acquiring land to sell homes to community members at an affordable rate is directly inspired by the work of those Black civil rights leaders in the South. So affordable housing is a big deal. We try to figure out how to address gentrification. But I think all of us are aware, where's the grocery store in Northside, right? Where do I get healthy food from? We know that ain't always been the case. There used to be food stores on North Avenue back in the day, but those reconcile with the reality of the corner stores, the bodegas selling you food-like substances, chips, sodas, cigarettes, and pastry cakes and things like that. You gotta figure out where we're gonna get our fruits and vegetables from, right? In order for us to address the diabetes and the high blood pressure and the cancers and the strokes that are highly concentrated in this neighborhood. Our organization, Happy Natural Day, is working on that, and in collaboration with the historic Highland Park Civic Association and the American Heart Association and the Health Department, we've developed the Northside Farmers Market. So every summer, actually, this is our second year, our third year, this will be our third year this year, right beside Richmond Community High School. We have designed and are implementing a weekly subscription service where folks that want to get healthy fruit, fresh fruits and vegetables, you can get that from the Northside Farmers Market. You'll pick your frequency. You want to get weekly, bi-weekly, monthly produce from black farmers from across the region, then you can connect with the local Northside Farmers Market in order to do that. Right? Last year, we were able to distribute over 20,000 pounds of fresh fruits and vegetables from out of a walk-in cooler right beside Richmond Community High School. Right? And we're excited about that program because we think that that program is a way for our communities to get back to what we were doing before there was a such thing as a grocery store. Because grocery stores hadn't always existed. I know you all know this, you know, it wasn't always a Walmart, right? And before there was a Walmart or a Costco or a Food Line, you know, there was a guy in the truck that would pull up and have watermelons and all the different things that you wanted to get right there, right? So we're bringing that back so that you can connect directly with the people that are growing your food, so you can have a relationship with the people that grow your food, so that you can know, based on your relationship, that this is healthy food, that you can trust that this man has not sprayed pesticides and herbicides and Roundup on the crops, and, you know, won't have to affect your health in a negative way. We also just saw the opening of the Mutual Aid Matchbox Center right on North Avenue. My good friend Taylor Scott with RVA Community Fridges, they have a commercial kitchen that they've opened up. This is where they'll be preparing food to go into their community fridges all across the city. And then also, we have the Bank of America building that's now distributing food for folks in the community on a regular basis. So all of these strategies, these collaborations are us doing Sankofa. It's us looking back to the past and identifying the strategies that we need to implement to address the problems of our present. So Black History Month is about us building Black futures, right? Creating strategies to address the historical inequities that our communities have faced. It's not just a moment for us to, draw some pictures with kitties about Martin Luther King. It's about us being critical, thinking deeply about how we figure out how we're going to live as Black people going into the future. I want to thank Ms. Mary for giving me an opportunity to share some words with you all, and I also want to affirm that we're in a troubling time as a community, but when we work together and we love on each other and we stay passionate and dedicated about taking care of one another, we will build the Black future that we deserve. Thank you. Oh yes. So my wife, Micaiah Ellis Chavis, is a force to be reckoned with. She is a certified doula but she is also a student midwife. So what she does is she helps Black women make it through their pregnancy. We know the research is showing that Black women die faster and at higher rates during childbirth and postpartum. And so her work is dedicated to making sure that that doesn't happen anymore. And so for the last 2 years, she's been on a journey of learning and studying and practicing and supporting expecting moms as they navigate the hospital system, right? As they navigate the decisions necessary for them to have a healthy pregnancy. And she's actually getting ready to go to Uganda next month in March to help families on the continent to have babies so that she can get her requirements so that she can be a certified midwife and help women, Black women especially, have their babies safely at home if they choose to, instead of having to go to the hospital and leave with a hefty doctor bill and potentially getting mistreated by the medical system. So yes, thank you. That's the way we used to do things. You know, we weren't going to the hospital every time we had a baby. You know, in the hospital we do things too, but it's important for us to make sure that people have access to health care, irrespective of where they might be at. But it's also super important for the healthcare providers to look like us and to understand our cultural reality. And I'm so proud of Nakaya and her work. She's organized a collective of Black doulas that if you're looking to if you have a family that's looking that is expecting, then you can connect with the Diverse Birth Collective, and they will assign a doula to your family that will help you walk through that process, giving you the best practices to ensure that you have a healthy pregnancy, and not only a healthy pregnancy and delivery, but also support you as in the postpartum phase, which is just as critical as the 9 months leading up to having it.
Our ancestors were midwives,
Yeah, that's history too, because like you said, back in the day,